Hi there, this is Sam Manfor with C-Level Selling Tip number 19. You know how they used to say the best way to a person's heart is through their stomach? Well, today we're going to talk about the best way to make a sale or develop relationships is through your ears. And we're talking about active listening, and this is going to enable you to win over people effortlessly, which we're going to talk about in this video here. So the big thing, listening, you've heard it all your life if you're in sales, that you've got two ears and one mouth and they should be used proportionally. Well, it's very true. Listening is the difference between marketing and selling. Marketing is pushing, it's telling people, it's advertising. It's like, you're out there, you're watching TV and somebody is marketing. They're telling you all about Burger King so that you then go out and buy the Burger King. But it's all about telling. Whereas selling it's between two people or an organization, multiple people, a complex sale, and you are throwing out questions and you're listening to understand and see what the people know and don't know. And that's the big difference between marketing and selling. Selling, you listen and then you start fitting your solution to what the person told you about. Now, there's three kinds of listening, and I guarantee you everybody feels that they are a good listener. Well, yes, you probably are, but maybe you're practicing, and this is the most common form of listening, what I call useless listening. This is the kind of listening where, the person is talking and you can't wait to jump in and say something, can't wait till they shut up so that you can talk. They hit something that you relate to and you just, interrupt and go off on them. Or they say something that you don't agree with and you interrupt again and you tell them why they should believe or think the way you think. And this is what I call useless listening. This is, you're not really listening, you're just waiting for them to stop talking or say something so you can jump in. More importantly, now the good kind of listening, there's two others. One is focus listening, and this is what people need to really prepare to do. Before you go in on a sales call, focus listening is listening for what the person says or doesn't say. This is critical. If you know what they should be saying, you listen to hear whether they've said it or they haven't said it. And, what do you want the person to say? What do you want the person, think of all the benefits that your product or service has. And when you talk to them, what would you like out of this particular product or service? You listen to what they say, and they say certain things. That's good, that fits, we've got that. And what they didn't say, and that's critical also, because what they don't say could be for a couple of reasons which are very important for you. One is they forgot to mention a benefit they want. For example, let's say your thing is really very reliable, and they didn't say anything in their benefit statement of what they wanted about reliable. And so, you need to open it up and say, well, you didn't mention anything about reliability. Is that an issue to you? Oh, geez, of course it is. I forgot about it. Or they may not really care about reliability. So you say, well, you didn't say anything about reliability. Is that an issue to you? No, it's really not. And if they say no, then you're going to have to stay away from it when it comes to your presentation. So focus listening is knowing what they say, what you want them to say, and see if they said it. And if they didn't say it, then you've got to jump in and query them about whether it's important or not. And this is what I call focus listening. Very powerful, very useful. And the third kind of listening is what I call investigative listening. And this is the most powerful kind of listening. Person says, I really would like it to be reliable. And, that's what I call an ambiguous or a power word. What does the person mean by reliable? And you turn to them, after they've talked and you say, you said you wanted this reliable. What does reliable mean to you? Describe reliability to me so I can understand you. Or they say they want it low cost. How low is low cost? Or they want good service. What does good service look like to you? If you could, describe it, explain it to me. So this is investigative listening. This is the most powerful because if you do this and listen, shut your mouth and listen, the people are going to explain exactly what they want. They're going to write the specification for you. Then all you got to do is fit your presentation to that specification. Now the last thing, although this is not listening, but it's an impact of listening, is you confirm to the person what they said. For example, you said you wanted it reliable, meaning yada, 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 and you said you wanted it low cost, meaning it needs to be in at this price, and you said you wanted good service, meaning this, this, and this. Is that correct? That little statement right there is going to do so much to improve your credibility and just develop a great relationship with a person, because now couple things happen. One is they know that you know what's in their head right now, so they're going to be open to listen to your presentation. And two is that, this is very professional. The person was listening to me. I like it when people are listening to me. Think about it at home. Think about it in your relationships. Think about it with your customers. Think about it with your boss. When you listen to someone and then repeat it back to them, I'm telling you, it just brings you up to another level with that person. Now, here's a common situation, and this is very, very common. For some reason in the world, salespeople feel they should be doing the talking. They've been prompted by the marketing department. Let me tell you all of the great things we've got about our company, so you go out charging, telling everybody what you have. This is the biggest myth. Salespeople need to be asking questions, shutting their mouth, and listening, and then doing the focused listening and doing the investigative listening. This is critical. Somewhere along, people even say, oh, wow, you must be a great salesman because you're a good talker. Baloney, you're a good marketer. If you're doing TV ads, if you're doing internet marketing, sales letters and things like that, that's all about talking. Selling is listening to what the person has to say and then putting your presentation together. So if you're doing all the talking, the resulting problem is it's annoying. It's really annoying. There's no better way to kill your credibility, kill a sale, and destroy a relationship, because people don't like a bore. You're annoying. You're talking about yourself all the time. You're talking about your presence. It's just boring, and that kills it. People like to talk. So if you want to develop a relationship with someone, get them talking and listen. Do focus listening. If they're not saying something you think they should be saying, throw it out at them. Well, you didn't say anything about this, or you didn't say anything about that. Is that important to you? Or tell me your thoughts on that. People love to listen to themselves talk, especially high-level executives. So if you're doing C-level selling to CEOs and other people, you're going to need to get them talking. And the best way to get them talking is open up with a question, put it out there, and let them talk. So let's check yourself very quickly. You can stop this anywhere along the line. Do you consciously set up people to talk? Do you have some questions all the time prepared to ask people whenever you meet them, if you want to make a sale, develop a relationship, or in a networking event? Do you try to get the interaction going by you doing the talking? Like a lot of people do that. Well, let me tell you all about me and my story and everything else and da-da-da-da. Now, you can do a little of that, possibly, but how often do you do it? Is it all about you, or are you trying to get them to go? Do you let the person talk and talk and talk, Do you do this all the time, or you never do it? Do you do the talking? Do you jump in as soon as the person hits something you relate to? I see this with women all the time. Somebody says, oh, my daughter just did this. Oh, let me tell you about my daughter. Or, this, or men do it all. It happens all the time. People are always jumping, and they can't wait to get their mouth going as opposed to listen to the other person. Like I said, it destroys relationships real fast, and it doesn't do anything to build them. So here's your score. 1 plus 3 minus 2 minus 4. Answer it honestly. It's only you here. Think about what you do. 4 is good. Less than 4 suggests that you need to work on your listening techniques. And here's a great way to do it. I have these ebooks, C-Level Selling Tip 19, Listening Techniques for Networking, Relationship Development, and Sales. 10-page narrative on how to listen actively, plus 5 complete strategies and techniques to use. These are beyond what I've talked about here today. Plus a full Taken to the Streets worksheet to prepare you. How do I prepare for these encounters? And you really need to prepare before every encounter. Before you go into a networking event, prepare. Before you go on a sales call, prepare. Plus there's an application story to show you how it works. So it's pretty powerful. So learn in this ebook, learn what to do, learn how to feel comfortable doing it. And it can be picked up right at this website here, and there's going to be a little bar down here that you can click on and get to it also. And while you're there, you can get a free ebook on getting past gatekeepers and handling blockers. There's nothing like this to get to the right people so that you can start practicing your listening and networking techniques. Okay, so that's it for this tip. Good selling, and we'll see you on the next tip.